that's what today's presentation is all about. How to do that. How are we going to be sexy at work? That's what today's presentation is all about. And one of the first things we've got to be careful of is virtual sex. You know, it's very easy to get addicted to virtual sex. Have you been there? I'm amazed how one or two people are nodding right now. Don't you know that you're in public? I'm really horrified. But you know how easy it gets to get addicted reading all those books, those sexy books about people who have achieved extraordinary things. People like Bill Gates and Mark Shuttleworth and Richard Branson, those were mentioned earlier on. Great, great people achieving extraordinary things. But we can get hooked on that. And we get our buzz from their extraordinary achievements rather than getting ourselves. How many of you have found yourselves sneaking back down into the lounge late at night on a Friday night when everybody else has gone to bed? And you put on the sex channels. And you know the ones. You're sitting there with your remote in your hand, watching things like Discovery Channel, National Geographic, BBC World Service. And you get to the end of the Disney? And you get to the end. You get to the end of the program and you reach the climax of the program and then it's finished. And all you've got left is an empty feeling in your stomach. This is not the way to have sex, folks. You have got to be doing it yourself, achieving something extraordinary. And that's what today's presentation is all about. We're going to be looking at some extraordinary things today. We're going to be looking at how to have group sex. Group sex is very important. You know, when you can achieve something extraordinary in a group, you imagine how exciting that is when you all do it together. It's fabulous. And then sex parties, of course, in order to have group sex, you've got to have sex parties. I mean, where else are you going to have your group sex? We're going to talk about oral sex. That's the participative bit in this, okay? I'll tell you about that a bit later on. Then new sex positions. No sex education is ever appropriate without new sex positions to talk about. Other people's exploits. We're going to be looking at how other people do it. You know, the sports people, scientists. So we're going to be looking at all sorts of different ways of achieving that great sex.